For a few of you it's 2 days, for most of you it's 9 days. And it's going to be intense. This seminar is going to be about how to pay attention. Like the most obvious thing, we believe that we know how to pay attention. Of course you know how to pay attention because you're aware right now. It's as easy as that. You want to lift your arm, you lift your arm. You want to pay attention, you pay attention. On the surface it seems easy. And then, after 1 year of integration and hard work on yourself, you ask your teacher or you write an email to me, I can't see what's going on. I don't know where to look at. And you get to this point where your level of skill in the ability, your level of ability to pay attention hits an apparent limit. Okay? You can still pay attention more. It's a question of skill. Okay? So learning to pay attention takes time and practice. It makes everything easier. Then whatever you want to resolve, whatever you want to do, whether a therapy on yourself, a healing, something supernatural, just get your life better. Everything becomes easier because you know how to pay attention. Right? So paying attention is one of those things we take for granted, that seems to be easy. Then we want to add some detail. We want to have a better eyesight with our mind, to see more refined details. Okay? To achieve this, we must understand our motivation to pay attention. If we don't know why we're paying attention, we just won't feel like it. We don't really want to. Let me take an example. If you have to go do the dishes, you don't really want to do the dishes. So you can put it to later, or never do it if it's your thing. Probably is not too healthy, but you can put it away. Okay? Until you have no more dishes, then you have no choice. It's too late. Okay? So that's the usual attitude towards depression. You don't really want to do your therapy on yourself and do personal growth until you are depressed, until you rot inside because you never cleaned up, or the great moments of loneliness become so intense that they hurt, so you have no choice than to do the dishes. Okay? And with time, you learn that if you do the dishes right now, they're much easier to scrape, it goes faster, and it doesn't smell rotten all the time. Might as well do the dishes right now. But that takes maturity. Until you understand the consequence of not doing the dishes right now, you put it away. And then it smells like crap. And then you do the dishes, but the crappy smell is staying because it's too late for, a day or whatever. There are consequences to not doing your work on yourself. But until it smells bad inside, until it hurts, until sickness develops, we don't have the maturity to realize the importance, to do some introspection for no reason, to do the dishes right now before it smells rotten. Okay? So this is a metaphor to initiate the teachings on the Dandapati, which is a prayer where we want to nourish inside the desire to do personal growth, to do some work on ourselves. So it's a spell that makes it easier to go do the dishes. It's some kind of super cleaning product. It's like the new thing that you can scrub and wash so easy. The new scrub and wash 2000 something. With an ice grinder and a coffee maker, the same handle, everything is there, It's the super pocket tool of personal growth. Actually, it's probably going to take the entire day just to explain it. Okay? We had this word game when we were younger. The Super 3000 ice grinder, slush killer, 2000 color cleaner, color adjuster, uplifter, toilet bowl, disher, whatever. You know, we just had this super long name. So the Dandapati is one of those super mega tools. It's a Swiss knife of personal growth. You know, you just okay. That every master has its own little tool, and then there's this one to scrape up the excess anyway at the end. You know, all of this is there. Even a flamethrower and some acid to burn holes through walls. You know, everything is there. Okay, breathe. Starting with a bit of humor is okay. You know, it's very bad jokes, but in context we laugh at it. It's okay. So pay attention inside. You probably realize as you do personal growth, as you do integration, it's easier to do integration. The moments of burning in hell are shorter. Sometimes there's not even pain. The first time we do integration, we want to die. It's unpleasant to an extreme point. We wonder why we should do it again. Then we feel better, so we do it again. It's like a bad medicine. It tastes like shit, but then you do feel better, so you say, okay, I'm going to take that medicine again. Until eventually you get used to it, and it feels good even during the integration. Because the moment you see a mask, you feel the freedom right away. The moment you see a pattern inside, you go, I need to correct that. I want to correct that. Okay. For personal growth to work, you need to understand the reason why you do it. Now, the reason is not to accomplish yourself or to achieve enlightenment. That's what we tell ourselves after we read the books. That says, this is why you should do personal growth, because you will enlighten. You have no idea what enlightenment until it happens, so you don't know what you're looking for. The idea of enlightenment, there's the first awakening, so spiritual awakening, then there's enlightenment, and then there's the full awakening or self-realization. Okay, 3 steps. So awaken, enlighten, accomplish yourself. If you do the accomplishment at the physical level, we call this ascension. Okay, so every plane of you just goes to the divine state. Okay, so if you want to accomplish yourself, right there it's going to be impossible, because you have the idea that you accomplish yourself. Therefore you're selfish, so no perfection of the mind is possible. If you want to enlighten, because you want to enlighten, it's egocentric. You want something, and in this egocentrism you remain separated in the inability to enlighten. So if you want to enlighten by understanding the broader understanding that it's not about you, it's about everyone's happiness if you stop being an asshole. It's about everyone's happiness if you are compassionate. It's not about you. Then enlightenment is revealed, then it happens, then it's possible. But when you want to enlighten because you want to enlighten for you to stop suffering, that is not enough. The reason why you do the dishes is for everyone else not to smell the crap at the house. It's for everyone to be able to eat with you. It's not just you, okay? If you enlighten just for you, enlightenment won't happen. Because it's egocentric right there. It will actually prevent it. So it requires the understanding that proper personal growth is not an egocentric feat. First you do it because you are hurt. So the first step is wanting to get better. We call this sudhare in Sanskrit. You want to get better. And as you get better, you want to shine this on everyone else and have a collective experience of everyone gets better because you do your part. Okay. So after the first awakening, first plane, first booming, you're awakening as to realize what it is to feel better and happier by working on yourself. Okay? And then there's loads of work to do and you're afraid, I have a mountain to do, I have so much to integrate. No, you don't. It's a bad approach. You look at integration like if there was a mountain, and if you do one shovel at a time, you'll eventually be done with your mountain. It's never going to happen. It's a road. It's not a mountain. It's a way, then it's forever. It's never going to stop. So the panic we have, there's so much to do, is a flawed perception. The moment that you're going, you start to get better and just keep going. Because the moment you stop, It's like the dishes. You can do the dishes every day and then think, I've done the dishes, I can stop now. No, it's going to be rotten right there the next day. Okay? Of course, you know, every metaphor has a flaw. As you get better, at one point you don't have to do so much practice, but actually you do, because it's a constant state of being. Like, I'm always integrating. I never take a specific moment to integrate. Well, sometimes, okay, it happens that I need to stop 1 minute to do my integration, then I go on. But it's a constant state of being. Like, I do more integration than the general student all the time. You say, oh Maha, you're always doing integration? That must be awful. No. Because it's so easy. It's like each time I use a plate, I wash it immediately because it's part of the process. So it's okay. You know, so I never do the dishes anymore, but they're always clean. Okay? Now every metaphor has a flaw. Don't push it to the extreme. Like, I just stopped using dishes. I just eat apples. No, don't push it. You know, you're going to ruin my teaching, okay? Breathe. Attention in the abdomen. Okay? If you don't know what it means, it doesn't matter. Pay attention to the abdomen. Okay? And with skill and with time, you will feel yourself here. You'll sink inside where the first emotions are felt. Eventually you feel emotions everywhere, but we start here. This is the main area. Okay? It's not just the dantian, the entire area here. You can't enlighten for yourself. Enlightenment happens when there's enough virtue inside you for divinity to express itself in various ways. Okay? And everybody will feel or experience enlightenment differently and still have a lot of work to do on themselves. However, there is divine essence that goes through, and that is enlightenment. And then it's experienced to each their own way. Okay? With time, we can diagnose enlightenment very easily. You know, who is enlightened, who is not. Is it important? Those who are not enlightened will say, it doesn't matter if you're enlightened or not. You're just part of the process. Well, that's an argument for someone who's not enlightened. Someone who is enlightened, don't care about it, but it's useful to know where you're at in your class. You know, it's just, you know, oh, so this is the class I'm at right now. Okay. You know, it's useful. It's not about bragging. But those who are not enlightened, they feel intimidated by them. She's enlightened. Pfft, she's just bragging. This is bullshit. Well, maybe it is. Yeah, we don't care. It's okay. As long as you do personal growth exclusively for yourself, you can be awakened, but not enlightened. When you do personal growth because it's useful, it's not just for you, it's useful for everything, for everyone. It just makes everything better. And you want other people's lives to get better too, and you're happy that collectively we're all interrelated. Okay? Some of you have studied the science of the Sanghaikya, okay? Like the mantra Sukhi Sangha, about wanting everyone to be happy, which includes you. Okay? So this is the kind of experience we're looking at. All right? Let's do the first integration of this seminar. Okay? There is going to be a bit of integration in this seminar. You call it an awful lot, but I say a bit. When I say there's not going to be integration, then there's some, okay? But from your own perspective. I never tell you to do it. In this seminar, there's going to be a bit of integration, and you'll feel that it's a lot. And if you remember when I tell you there's going to be a lot of integration in that seminar, it's like a walk in hell for 9 days or 8, because the last day we're just too drunk. Of prana, you know, of integration. Video was going on YouTube afterwards. I can't say that we drink alcohol, or else we're bad Buddhists. But tonight we got this wonderful cognac. But it's just for me and Peter. Maybe Owen also. This is the first integration of the seminar. Before an event like this, there will be change. You know there will be change. Your ego is afraid of what's going to happen. Can you agree with that? afraid or impressed. Maybe it's not fear, maybe it's to be impressed. You know, there's 3 levels of suffering. Eh? It's not suffering, it's disquietude. When the Buddha talked about suffering, he used the word dukkha. And dukkha doesn't mean suffering. Ole, will you check if my head is still in the camera? If I stand here and start to write?
It's just.
It's just. Okay, so we're good. So if I step... imagine I'm talking. So Sakyamuni did not say the word suffering. He said the word dukkha. It means disquietude, absence of being at peace. Okay, disquietude is not to be peaceful. So there's 3 levels of dukkha, or not being at peace. The lowest is discomfort. That's just uncomfortable, but you can live with it, okay? It's not 3 fixed levels, it's a gradient from nothing to really painful. But we see 3 major steps where we can name them as discomfort, irritation, like someone insults you and it's like, I don't really like people saying bad things about me, but I mean, it's his opinion. That's discomfort, okay? Like feeling aggressed. Then someone insults you and it really aggravates you. It's irritating. And then there is pain, suffering. Pain, I don't know how to write anymore, or suffering. Now I know how to write. Good. So, this is a Picasso style painting. Okay? So, discomfort, irritation, and suffering are the 3 disquietudes that Sakyamuni was talking about. Okay? Well, actually, he was talking about disquietude by itself, and he named various levels of intensity, and this is how we could name them today. Okay? He didn't use these words because there was not so much words in that dictionary at that time for every little trinket of psychology. So, before a seminar like this one, there is a form of discomfort. So maybe you don't see it as pain, but it is unpleasant to think, oh, sometimes stuff will happen during that boot camp that doesn't really please me or suit me. Or maybe my ego will be insulted. Maybe I will feel ashamed. I don't like feeling ashamed or have my pride broken. And sometimes you know that you're going to do some personal growth. And your ego feels that it's losing control. Can we agree with that? Your ego feels, I'm not going to be in charge of what's going on here. My soul is going to be in charge. You don't usually say that. You say, Maha is going to be in charge. That's just projection. Okay. You decided to come here and let go of the process so I could lead you through experiences. Okay. Now this feeling that personal growth will happen disturbs you. So I want you to go and feel it. Is there a part of you that prefers playing games and not do the dishes? We say people are either mature or immature, but that's a very rigid classification. We all have a level of maturity, therefore the equivalent opposite immaturity. Okay, so we have a level of immaturity, and that immaturity, maybe you feel you're mature because you wash the dishes, but personal growth, you wait until it smells. So there's immaturity to a certain level to everyone. We have that, okay? I'm still on earth, I have immaturity. Okay, so I have this part in me that says, oh, fuck it, I'll integrate tomorrow, or never. This one, let's just let them go. And of course I would lie to myself. Instead of saying to myself, honestly, I don't want to integrate it, I'll just say, it's his opinion. Just like you would do. Oh, it's their opinion. It's what they think. It's what other people, when people comment my work. I have an ego. I'm usually not irritated. It's just very mild discomfort, but it happens. It happened this week. Someone criticize something the way I teach. It is an intense way, it's not suited for everyone. And while I just let it go, I wanted to be defensive. Something inside wanted to be defensive, to explain, well, you know, it gives results. Maybe you don't like it, but it gives results with a lot of people. However, I didn't do it. I would not have been honest. Okay? My feeling discomfort was an aggression. Even you would call it an aggression only when it really hurts or when it's irritating. But it's an aggression the moment it affects you. You feel aggressed. Okay? It's still disquietude. I was not fully at peace. And the reason I didn't say anything to that person is I was not fully at peace. So that was wise. However, I did not integrate it. I just said, no, okay, I'm the one who's hurt, and I kept on working, actually, composing music. It was more fun. It's going to come back, okay? I looked at it afterwards, but it's going to come back, because I didn't take care of washing the dishes. I let it rot. It's just a little rot, but it's going to smell for a few days afterwards, and, you know, that's how it works, okay? So that was my little personal story this week. I'm going to go to a seminar with 30-something people, and there will be criticizing of my methods before they notice the results. They will be affected by the process, which is having the mind broken a bit, not too much, you know, not too pain. So how do you feel that experience? You come here and you know that you're going to have these reactions, and you're going to be unhappy about a few of those teaching. Most of the teaching you'll enjoy, but a few of them you might feel bad. And before you go back inside, oh, I feel bad because I'm affected, you'll say, I feel bad because Maha affected me. You know, he said that. And that projection will happen. And this is my reaction of being criticized. That was reminded to me last week on Facebook about someone said, hey, you do black magic and Jesus is the Savior, you know, the Lord. It's some kind of Christian thing. I was like, okay. So if I had my reactions to coming here, because I was going to be a target for the first 2 days, then you're humble and I'll look at yourself and, oh, I feel so much better now that I do my work. But until you get to that point, I will feel like a target. It's not comfortable. Okay? So that's my honest way of saying I'm honest with how I feel. It doesn't stop me from doing my work. Because I remember how great it feels when I'm done cleaning the dishes immediately. Because each time I want to eat, I have a fresh plate because the place smells like soap or clean instead of rotting food. So I'm happy about my job. I still know I have to do the dishes. I have to go through my part of being a target, which is unpleasant. Okay? I mean, you can try to make the decision right now, I will never blame Maha a single time. It's not going to be your choice. It's going to happen kind of naturally, okay? Because of your level of immaturity, where you are at. That's how it is, okay? There is one person right now in the entire MahaVajra that does not ever blame me. And another person, that's Shivagan, who never blames. Like no one. He's the only one who resolved it. And Apsagni is under careful observation. Maybe she's going to do that step now of never blame anyone ever. Okay? So hopefully it's inspiring you guys to eventually do the same. Feel. I mean, you follow my story, but do you do your integration? Please. Your reaction, your fears, your resistance to evolving. I just say that you blame me. Do you feel guilty about that? If you don't feel guilty, maybe you are close to ascension or hypocrite. I just blame you that you were blaming me. It was the same thing. It was a game. I blame you to blame me. You're blaming me. So did you defend yourself with pride? Oh, I won't blame Maha. Or shame. Oh shit, I blame Maha. Or fear. Oh my God, I'm still gonna blame Maha. I don't want to. Maybe it's a reaction of pride. I blame Maha, fuck you. It's your job, you chose to. So what was your reaction? It's little things, but we want to take these little things out of the way. It's part of the Dandapati. Okay? The blame part of whose fault is it when I suffer is part of the Dandapati process. The first word of the Dandapati, we'll see it, we'll have a sheet later, next class. The first word of the entire Dandapati is don't blame. No punishment to no one. No one is guilty of anything. Okay? Adande means the absence of any form of punishment or guilt. Dandapati, Dandavarte, Dandakushale, Dandasudare, Sudare, Sudarapati, Bujapashyane. That will be the first class. So, absence of projection, adande. Don't hit anyone with your stick. Okay. Breathe. Did you identify your denial? I consider that you all have experience in integration. Okay, that's why I'm not going back to. These are the 3 denials. Did you identify the emotion? Is there guilt? Was it rejection? Are you defending yourself because of abandonment? In every integration, to identify the denial and the emotion is good. Now you realize that this is not an explosive integration. It's a first step in observing yourself. Yes?
It's very important to identify the emotion or...
It's important to feel something, to try your best. If you don't know how to name it, it doesn't matter. This will come with experience. If you say, I feel emotion, I just don't know. Let's just say, I feel crappy or bad. Well, when it's hard to identify the emotion, it's because of mix. You have all 3. You have a bit of guilt, lots of rejection, and a bit of abandonment. And you say, I don't know which one it is. Well, it's just a melting pot. It's just right there. So you feel it, because observing the emotion dissolves it. Right? Good. Now, let's go back in the past. Forget about the seminar and Maha story. Did you blame someone at some point in the last 100 years of your life for suffering you had? Did you go into a blame crisis? In other words, did you ever have profound hatred for someone? Or being very angry? Maybe it's not hatred, but very angry, the way you think it. Remember that profound anger at someone. Go back to that. We'll make it another step, a less comfortable integration now. You know, an emotional reaction based on the idea that it's someone else's fault if you are suffering. And that person should die, or disappear, or stop breathing, or finally come and make love to me and not ask questions, you know. This person should love me. Maybe it's that, your reaction, you know. It's that person's fault if I'm having a heartbreak. From profound love to profound hatred, all that you need is desire and attachment. Therefore, it was not love. It was desire. When you love someone, and it can turn into anger because that love ends, it was not love, it was desire. There was love, but just a bit. Most of it was animal desire. Okay? Because love cannot become hatred. Desire gives birth to hatred. It's built for that. Through attachment. If you desire and then you know how to dissolve it and not blame anyone, you'll just let it flow. It's okay. But desire projected will become hatred. It's kind of genetic inside. Okay? Breathe, feel, breathe your emotion, find it. Sometimes it's not about lovers, it can be about parents. Desire to be cared for by your parents, and you were not cared for by your way of being cared for, or by your desire of being cared for, and it became blame to the parents. We say every mother loved their children, and a few of you here know it's not absolutely true. Most of you believe it's true because you've been loved. But some of you know it's not automatic. There are certain conditions when very immature people have children. So we're using an opportunity to observe blame, projection, putting the responsibility on someone else. Okay? And personal growth ends right there when we keep doing this. Okay? And you see that suffering of hatred? This suffering of hatred, when you hate, you're not comfortable. It's a pain to hate someone. There is no growth when you're stuck in there. You're not growing. The only thing you're learning is that it hurts to do so, and eventually you'll get tired and stop. Okay? Good. We're breaking the ice. There probably won't be hard moments like this in the boot camp anymore, at least for the next 20 minutes or hour. Are you okay? Did you understand that? Now breathe and relax. Okay, breathe deeply. Relax that integration. You observe, you see your mechanics. Do you feel that there's something like hard, rigid inside that wants to twist? Is there a machine that feels like bending metal or working inside? We're just addressing how the ego works and the reflexes that we have. The first thing we do is survive. Survive means defending ourselves, and defending ourselves means attacking sometimes or feeling hatred. It's based on conflict, and there's no growth while we do that. Okay. We're going to take a small break in 2 minutes. Let's do happy faces. It's so easy, so good. Complete change of subject. Imagine every cell of your body is a laughing, happy face. And breathe. Let's pump this hormonal system, alright? Happy faces, joy, joy, push it. Now there's tons of unresolved emotions that stir with it. It's okay. Okay, now let it simmer. Put less effort, but let it simmer. Let it rest there, right? Some of the advanced students, you have often state of great bliss. So when we do happy faces, you try your best and it's very soft. Right? Sometimes it's just, you try happy faces, it's just a soft thing. It's okay, you're used to bliss, the higher states. So even doing profound joy is, I always have this. Eating chocolate or eating more chocolate just tastes like chocolate when you eat it. You're just used to it, Good. All right, we're back here. Gonna relax. What we did is convection. Pay attention to a suffering. Pay attention to joy. Cold and hot currents mix, and it convects. then feeling emotions for the remainder of the day will be easier. Okay? So initiate the process of personal growth, not even by discovering about maturity, but just admitting blame is not personal growth. We need to know what is not personal growth. Then we'll progress.